Good morning, 7STE. Today, we are going to discuss Environmental Science Quarter 4, Module 3, Importance of Sustaining Earth's Resources for Future Use. The content of this video is taken from the self-learning modules produced by the Learning Resource Management and Development System of the Schools Division of Bulacan. Objectives: explain the importance of sustaining Earth's resources for future use. At the end of this module, you are expected to 1. Define sustainability. 2. Explain the significance of sustainable development. 3. Identify the objectives and some goals of sustainable development. And 4. Cite some important measures for sustainable development. What I know. Choose the letter of the best answer. Write the letter of your choice on your answer sheet. See pages 2 to 3 of Quarter 4, Module 3. What's in? Identify the following consequences that arise from careless and excessive consumption of natural resources. Choose your answer from the word bank below and write only the letter of your answer on the space provided. Number 1. Concentration of carbon dioxide and gas emissions from burning fossil fuels from electricity, heat, and transportation. Answer: E. Greenhouse gas increase. 2. The termination of a kind of organism due to degradation of habitat, overexploitation, invasive species, and climate change. Answer: C. Extinction of species. Number 3, it refers to the decrease in forest areas across the world that are lost for other uses such as agricultural, croplands, urbanization, or mining activities. Answer: A. Deforestation. Number 4, the process by which fertile land becomes desert, typically as a result of drought, deforestation, or inappropriate agriculture. Answer: B. Desertification. Number 5, it is the decline in oil production of an oil field due to oxidation, thermal breakdown, microdieseling, additive depletion, and oil contamination. Answer: F. Oil depletion. Number 6, it refers to the wearing away of a field's topsoil by the natural physical forces of water and wind or through forces associated with farming activities. Answer: H. Soil erosion. Number 7, the gradual thinning of Earth's ozone layer in the atmosphere caused by the release of chemical compounds containing gaseous chlorine or bromine from industry and other human activities. Answer: G. Ozone depletion. Number 8, it refers to the movement of refugees and internally displaced people as well as people displaced by natural or environmental disasters, chemical or nuclear disasters, famine, or development projects. Answer: D. Forced migration. What's new? Find the different words related to sustainable development hidden in the puzzle. Words may be hidden horizontally, vertically, and diagonally. First word, economy. Number 2, environment. 3, goals. 4, objectives. 5, recycle. 6, reduce. 7, resources. 8, social. 9, sustainability. And number 10, technology. Sustaining Earth's resources for future use. Sustainability is quite a new and evolving concept in modern environmental science. World leaders and scholars agree that the future of humanity and the quality of life depends on our ability to achieve a lasting balance with the global environment. Sustainable use of Earth requires human participation in the natural cycles of air, water, organisms, and other systems without degrading and depleting them. Sustainability is the capacity to endure in a relatively ongoing way across various domains of life. In the 21st century, it refers generally to the capacity for Earth's biosphere and human civilization to coexist. The concept of sustainable development was introduced in the early 1980s. The need and importance of sustainable development are to balance our economic, environmental, and social needs, meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It encourages us to conserve and enhance our resource base by gradually changing the ways in which we develop and use technologies. Sustainability is most often defined as meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet theirs. It has three main pillars: economic, environmental, and social. These three pillars are informally referred to as people, planet, and profits. If we are to balance our economic needs, then we will have sufficient economy. If we are to balance our social needs, then we will have a nurturing community. If we are to balance our environmental needs, then we will have a viable natural environment. Social and economic needs that are balanced together will give us an equitable social environment. Economic and environmental needs balanced together will give us a sustainable economic development. Social and environmental needs balanced together will give us a sustainable natural and built environment. Altogether, this will bring us sustainable development. There are four objectives of sustainable development: social progress and equality, capacity of a society to meet the basic human needs such as employment, food, energy, water, and sanitation of its citizens. Introduce programs that allow citizens and communities to support and improve the quality of their lives. Social progress is a necessary component of development. Healthy and educated individuals are far more able to contribute to the well-being and advancement of their societies. And it can help build efficient and regional educational systems geared to the needs of an increasingly globalized world. People who are treated fairly and have equal opportunity are better able to contribute socially and economically to the community and to enhance growth and prosperity. The second objective is environmental protection: healthy, clean, and safe environment. To protect human and environment health, climate change, and poor air quality must be reduced. Environmental protection refers to any activity to maintain or restore the quality of environment through preventing the emission of pollutants or reducing the presence of polluting substances in environment. The third objective is conservation of natural resources. The non-renewable resources must be used efficiently, and increasing reliance on renewable resources can help conserve the dwindling supplies of fossil fuels that remain in the ground. As the population of the world is increasing at an alarming rate, the consumption of natural resources is also increasing. Hence, these resources should be conserved to maintain ecological balance and save them for future generations. The next objective is stable economic growth. Everybody has the right to a good standard of living, with better job opportunities, economic growth that allows consumers to consume more goods and services, and enjoy better standards of living, and economic growth with equal quality between developing nations and developed nations. Economic stability enables other macroeconomic objectives to be achieved, such as stable prices and stable and sustainable growth. It also creates the right environment for job creation and a balance of payments. In many poor countries, basic environmental resources are being consumed by populations trapped in a cycle of poverty, poor health, and disease that results in short and difficult lives for most. In the developed world, industrialization and unsustainable economic growth practices have created wealth and prosperity for some while degrading the environment. Consumption has become associated with progress, with little concern or even consciousness that this way of doing business is unsustainable. Overconsumption describes a situation where the use of natural resource has exceeded the sustainable capacity of a system. A long-term pattern of overconsumption in any given region or ecological system can cause a reduction in natural resources that often results in environmental degradation. Our current economic system is not sustainable in a way that it maximizes the use of natural resources and energy with small amounts of ecosystem services as inputs and large amounts of waste as outputs. Natural resources and energy are overconsumed, lots of waste are produced, the economy grows, but it has a negative impact on the environment. A less sustainable economy is one that has the worst impact on the environment. A sustainable economic system relies more on ecosystem services and reuse of existing manufactured materials and less on resource extraction that requires energy. This system takes some of the waste stream and reuses it in the production and consumption cycle. This cycle uses more renewable energy, it lessens negative environmental effects, and reuse more of the products that were destined for the waste stream. A more sustainable economy is one which provides for the greatest amount of general well-being for the least amount of resource use and environmental harm. So in figure number 2, we could see that this system relies more on ecosystem services and less on resource extraction that requires energy. It also reuses existing manufactured materials. Next, this system also takes some of the waste stream and reuses it for the production and consumption cycle. This model has led architects, environmental scientists, and engineers to a collaborative discussion of the optimal way to design, manufacture, use, and dispose of objects such as automobiles, houses, and consumer goods. Here are some important measures for sustainable development. Number 1, use of appropriate technology. Technology that has no adverse effect on the environment, reduces energy and materials consumption, but has the ability to achieve greater output. It usually involves local resources and local labor. Technologies that enable more valuable use of resources and reduce ecological impacts or produce minimum waste. So here are some examples of green technologies that are environmentally friendly. Wastewater treatment, elimination of industrial emissions, recycling and waste management, self-sufficient buildings, waste to energy, generation of energy from the waves, vehicles that do not emit gases, harnessing solar energy, vertical gardens and farms, natural gas boilers instead of coal. Number 2, reduce, reuse, and recycle approach. The 3R approach goes a long way in achieving the goals of sustainability, in advocating reduction of resource use, using them again and again instead of passing it on to the waste stream and recycling the materials. It reduces our reliance on our resources as well as reduces waste production and pollution. Recycling prevents the emission of many greenhouse gases and water pollutants and saves energy. Using recovered material generates less solid waste. Recycling helps to reduce the pollution caused by the extraction and processing of virgin materials. Number 3, promoting environmental education and awareness. Introducing the environmental education in school will inculcate a feeling of belongingness to Earth. It can help establish a stewardship ethic that is a sense of duty to care for and manage wisely our natural resources. Environmental education is a process that allows individuals to explore environmental issues, engage in problem solving, and take action to improve the environment. As a result, individuals develop a better understanding of environmental issues and have the skills to make informed and responsible decisions. Number 4, resource utilization as per carrying capacity. In order to attain sustainability, it is very important to utilize the resources based upon supporting and assimilative capacity of all the system. Carrying capacity can be defined as a species' average population size in a particular habitat. The species' population size is limited by environmental factors like adequate food, shelter, water, and mates. If these needs are not met, the population will decrease until the resource rebounds. We alter carrying capacity when we manipulate resources in a natural environment. If a population exceeds carrying capacity, the ecosystem may become unsuitable for the species to survive. If the population exceeds the carrying capacity for a long period of time, resources may be completely depleted. Number 5, improving quality of life, including social, cultural, and economic dimensions. Population growth should be stabilized. The development should not focus just on one section of already rich people. It should include sharing of benefits between the rich and the poor. Maintain cultural beliefs, practices, and heritage conservation. There should be a strong community involvement both in making policy and in carrying it out. It is crucial to seek balance between development and human needs for achieving sustainable development. Improving quality of life by supporting the economic growth, reduce inequality of the society, and improving environmental management will lead to the realization of sustainable development. The Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goals are a collection of 17 interlinked global goals designed to be a guide or pattern to achieve a better and more sustainable future. The Sustainable Development Goals were set in September 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly and are intended to be achieved by the year 2030. The Sustainable Development Goals targets and applies uniformly to all countries, rich, middle income, and poor. Food and agriculture are at the heart of the 2030 Agenda. Food and Agriculture Organization's broad priorities are to end poverty, hunger, and malnutrition, enable sustainable development in agriculture, fisheries, and forestry, and adapt to climate change. Food and Agriculture Organization is a specialized agency of the United Nations that leads international efforts to defeat hunger. Sustainable Development Goals: 1. No poverty. 2. Zero hunger. 3. Good health and well-being. 4. Quality education. 5. Gender equality. 6. Clean water and sanitation. 7. Affordable and clean energy. 8. Decent work and economic growth. 9. Industry, innovation and infrastructure. 10. Reduced inequalities. 11. Sustainable cities and communities. 12. Responsible consumption and production. 13. Climate action. 14. Life below water. 15. Life on land. 16. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. And 17. Partnerships for the goals. In the Philippines, food and agriculture organizations' work is directly linked to at least 13 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. They are no poverty, zero hunger, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, reduced inequality, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and partnerships for the goals. Although we have seen evidence of environmental degradation and resource depletion, there are also many cases in which individuals and organizations are finding ways to stop pollution, use renewable rather than non-renewable resources, and even restore biodiversity and habitat. Sometimes all it takes is a pilot project to show people how things can be done differently to change attitudes and habits, living more lightly on the world individually as well as working collectively to create a better world. If everyone makes a small attempt to advocate for an environmental issue such as pollution, global warming, or climate change, it is possible to both create awareness of a problem and generate solutions. Let us now discuss the different activities in What's More. Independent Activity 1, is it a yes or no? Classify the following practices whether sustainable or not sustainable. Independent Assessment 1, Match Better. Match column A with column B. Write the letter of your answer on the space provided before each number. So for your choices, we have advocacy, conservation, natural resources, objectives, preservation, and sustainable. Independent Activity 2, see the difference. State the difference between the given pair of concepts. 1. Conservation from preservation. 2. Goals from objectives. 3. Sustainability from sustainable development. 4. Current economic system from sustainable economic system. And 5. Environmental science from environmental education. Independent Assessment 2, Complete Me. The following are some goals of 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Complete each sentence below according to the hint letters provided. Independent Activity 3, Fix to Fit. Arrange the jumbled letters for each item to identify the words being described. Independent Assessment 3, Correct me if I'm wrong. Modify true or false. Write true if the statement is correct, and if the statement is false, change the underlined word to make the statement correct. What I have learned. To measure what you have learned from the lessons, complete the graphic organizer by supplying the words in each box. So our main topic is about sustainable development. It focuses on 3 things. It has 4 objectives. And it can be achieved through the following. So choose your answer from the words inside this box. What I can do. In this activity, you are going to identify 3 goals from 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development that you believe are most important for environmental science. So write them down on the first column. In the second column, answer the question, why did you choose these goals? And on the third column, how might we accomplish them? Assessment. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Write your answer on your answer sheet. See pages 11 to 13 of Quarter 4, Module 3. Additional activity. Performance task number 4.3. This activity allows you to check the sustainability of your home. What could you and your family members do to make your home more environmentally friendly? Number 1, in terms of energy or electricity. 2, in terms of your house. 3, in terms of water use. And number 4, in terms of food. So answer the questions for each number. And then, answer also the final question, what other aspects of your house could you study to improve sustainability? Environmental Science Quarter 4, Module 3, Importance of Sustaining Earth's Resources for Future Use. Answer the following on your answer sheet. What I know, what's more, independent activities 1, 2, 3, independent assessments 1, 2, 3, what I have learned, what I can do, assessment, and the additional activity, which will also be your performance task number 4.3. Upload your answer sheets in your Google Drive folder. The path is Environmental Science Quarter 4, Module 3. Thank you for attending our Environmental Science online class. God bless you all.